Sooner or later.
Well, he made a comment on this one, and then there was that one that was added.
Yeah.
But could this just be another thing where I have to press every freaking thing again?
I'm going to assume so. Jimmy just said keep on pressing, so...
I'm just gonna...
Okay, no, that's not me.
Did that man...
That man...
That's what he said. He just said something about... Oh, Mr. Menderes, I have one more question, he said.
Mr. Menderes, I have one more question. What sort of pre-adolescent carries around a bottle of deadly poison? The bad sort.
No shit, really?
Not all kids are innocent little angels. Yes, well, even then, where would she obtain it? She couldn't buy it off a shelf.
That's a good point. It certainly seems to hurt the defense's claim. I don't believe so. Williamson, earlier you pointed to a piece of evidence, which I think may indicate her true nature. The girl was an assassin sent by the Cadaverini.
You are stretching so far for that, buddy. What?
It sounds far-fetched, but sadly it's not out of the question. Right, Mr. Menderes?
Yep. Some gangs will brainwash child soldiers. Other gangs, of course. Rivales never.
Yeah, okay. But that's horrible! Of course it is, but not everyone has the same moral code as us law-abiding citizens. Kids can be easily molded to do as they're told. They can be very obedient. And you think the Cadaverini family used a child as a murderer? Their Don had just been murdered. They wanted revenge. Anything was on the table. In fact, this explains why nobody has seen her since Parker dropped her off. That's awful! What the fuck happened to my voice? Yeah, yes, isn't it? Some people are just awful.
Ironic coming from you. Can you believe they try and make poor Pearl into some kind of soldier?
Some kid soldier.
Yeah. After all they've done, this surprises you? At least they have the decency to say it's not really her. Decency? All they're doing is denying they kidnapped her. You cannot prove she was a Cadaverini assassin any more than I can prove she was Miss Fay. That's so.
It's funny that, as we stand, I'd say my argument holds more weight. She did have the poison after all. No child could get that on her own. And since then, nobody has seen her or knows where she went. And what was that about Kushari seeming to recognize her?
That was supposition from a suspect.
Yes, it was, and now it's maybe supposition from me.
Gavin, get rid of the whiskey.
It's strange how after speaking to a kid he had just met and getting a strange bottle from her, Kushari would willingly plant its contents into the meal of a man he'd also never met.
Kushari was a Cadaverini as well. You are begging the question. All of this would require you being right in the first place.
Maybe, but the presence of the poison means the killer prepared for it. That goes for whoever he was, either Kushari or Menderes. No matter who did it, this was planned from the beginning. Objection!
Premeditated? You gotta be kidding.
I'm not, and I'd like to see you prove otherwise.
Knew I could count on you, Gavin. Judge, I'd like to amend my testimony. I think my lawyer's right. Kushari and the girl, they planned the whole shebang together, all from the start.
Well, this is a disturbing turn of events. Yes, I'll have your statement added to the record.
You think this was premeditated? Well, it makes sense, at least from the girl's part. She had the bottle beforehand and her dirty little paws prove it. Can't really say much about Kushari. He might have just thought himself a good Samaritan. Or he could have been with her. I like to think the latter. You had your own bottle of the same poison. She could have easily gotten it from you.
Our prints were on the second bottle. We can't say the same for Menderes or Luciano.
A child's prints. That is all we know.
Are we really going to split hairs over this? What other child could it have been? That girl brought the bottle in from outside with the intention of killing Luciano. Until you have a better explanation, please don't smirk at mine.
An explanation built on lies and deceit is none at all. I can't wait to wipe that smug smile off your face, Mr. Gavin.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're back to looking at shit again.
Look at this brown bottle. Isn't it a nice bottle? It just sounds too much like Cam. It's freaking me out.
For all we know, maybe Kamek did do the voice.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm assuming since I'm not getting anything new, it's got to be the thing that he just added about them being premeditated. Whoops, I just skipped the last thing on accident. I always did think that Gavin had one of the better objections.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I guess the two must have planned it together, so it has to be this, right?
Note on corpse. Victim was killed. Quick acting poison. Diner. Digest poison known to cause internal. That has anything? I don't know. Think we have anything.
Yeah, I'm lost on this one.
Yeah, I'm not linking anything to what this might be.
Nope.
Oh, on that one. Yeah, like none of this evidence really.
If we don't really have much evidence.
No, we don't. We have a shit ton
I'm gonna throw you at you.
You and you. We have a shit ton of people. We don't have any evidence. It was me, Obadiah Williamson.
In hindsight, I guess the two must have planned it together. Bell!
It's obviously the bell. The bell did it.
I don't know. I think that was all of the evidence.
That was all of the evidence.
Except for this.
The diner map.
Nope.
Nope, not that.
I have no idea. Here's the diner entrance. So does it have to be a person? Or maybe it's not this. Something else was added to his testimony too. Some brat took her into the diner to calm her down. In hindsight, I guess they were. Parker took
We've
her.
already pressed all these.
Yeah, I know, but something was added to his testimony. Kind of poison must have been what killed him. Ordered the meals, they came 10 minutes later, Luciano's dead. I don't know, dude.
Kid wasn't Faye, but wouldn't tell you if she was.
Took her into the diner to calm her down. Kishari must have thought he recognized her. In hindsight, I guess the two must have planned it together. Before Parker took her, Kishari came to speak with her. She gave him something. Guess it was some kind of poison she gave him. Must have been what killed him. We ordered the meals. They came 10 minutes later. Luciano's dead. Kishari made the food in the back. He could see us. We couldn't see him. He must have used the poison she gave him. Luciano's dead. Parker's clueless. Kid's gone. Just Kishari and me. Who you believe? And Preston got this line.
In the first one, he says the kid's not Faye, but then at the end, he's like, oh yeah, it's Faye and him. He did it. Or the kid. I don't know. Right?
He doesn't say anything about her.
Oh. I don't know.
If this testimony wasn't so freaking long... There's just some brat we found on the side of the road, wanted to help her. Took her into the diner to calm her down. And said, I guess the two must have planned it together. How could they have planned it? How would they know that you were walking by the restaurant?
Yeah, exactly. Just coincidence?
I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
It's Togamera. He was the third one. He was in on it as well.
I don't know.
They calling an audible?
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing.
I didn't press that. Gosh darn it. Press the first statement.
I did. Okay, I thought I did. I thought I pressed it twice.
You did, but you had to press
so
the
you
third
had to press
time.
that, press it, freaking press another statement, come back, press again.
Yeah, it's go all the way around.
I never would have done that. I never would have gone through and pressed everything 3 times.
If things are as you claim, it was truly premeditated.
Yes.
Beryl Faye was captured only 2 nights ago. She had no contact with the family or Mr. Kushari prior to that.
Well, I won't say it's impossible, but I'd say that blows a big hole in your theory that Menderes kidnapped her. She would have had no time to prepare for the premeditated killing. Ergo, it was another child.
Sad Obi. I just spent all that time proving him right. Hey, don't give up quite yet. Some psychotic child killer who just vanishes? What next? The boogeyman? We've literally just Menderes' word to go on that she wasn't Pearl. I mean, if you just prove she was, that'll show this is all a load of hooey. I think we both know that she was there. Only Mr. Kushar will claim he saw her. The defense won't, and I won't believe Parker would have the spine to defy Rivala's Menderes. So you're just gonna fold? I did not say that. Well, stop wasting time. Obi, there are people counting on you. Hey, are you gonna fix this, or am I gonna have to step up to the plate? Mr. Jameson, we don't have the evidence to... Menderes, you lying sack of garbage!
Now I can understand why you didn't make it to prosecutor.
Hope you realize nobody over here is buying your act. We're on to you. You kidnapped Pearl and are trying to throw the blame onto some disappearing middle schooler? Have a bit of class, seriously. Gavin, do your job, will you? This verbal assault's hurting my feelings.
Young man, you have no proof that my client is lying. Please step back and think about this rationally.
Yeah? Well, why is no one trying to find this kid? Don't you think we need to know who handed off a bottle of poison to Mr. Kushari?
No, I don't. This is a trial for murder. She would merely be an accessory. Shifting the blame from Menderes is all I have to do to prove him innocent. If my client says she was not Faye, then she was not Faye. That is enough!
Mr. Kushari, please back away from the stand. You have already been warned.
I cannot, Mr. Your Honor, not while these people accuse the girl.
Please listen to His Honor. Things are already bad enough as they are.
Yes, I see that they are bad. How dare you say that this child is a killer? You kidnapped her, but you will not make her a villain. She had no bottle and she gave me nothing. She did nothing, nothing at all. The Pearl Girl is not even here. The Pearl Girl? I said poor. Yet you will say these things about her? You, Mr. Menderes, you are a cruel murderer. And you, Mr. Attorney Gavin, you wish to defend him by blaming a child. You are both cowards, cowards. You should be ashamed. If we were anywhere else, I would knock some sense into both of you awful men. You're an idiot. You come here and I will give you a taste of my spatula now!
Well, we lost.
Yep.
I mean, we
Your
already knew we...
Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as hostile.
Granted. Witness, I won't have any more of those outbursts in my courtroom, eh?
For the love of all that is holy.
Kushari, would you care to repeat what you just said to me? If we were anywhere else, I would knock some sense into both of you. I suppose that could be considered a verbal threat. You're getting so angry over mere words?
You are placing the witness in a very stressful position. His reaction is not unusual.
Oh, so now this is my fault? I'm not the one resorting to violent threats.
Your Honor, what Mr. Kushari just said is irrelevant. I'll move for it to be stricken from the record.
Yes. You should be able to control your witness better, though.
Have it stricken all you like. I will not forget his comment. The judge will not. Kushari is showing us the man he really is. He is violent and hot-headed. Then why would he resort to poison?
Exactly.
And above all else, he is a liar. Liar? I am not the liar! Is that so? I have another person who will prove the exact opposite.
I hope it is not the suspect.
No, the girl.
Okay, we're
Oh
bringing
no, he's gonna bring in vampire bitch.
You found her.
Of course not. But her prints are on the bottle, also held by Kushari. After hearing my client, you should know what that means.
Mr. Kushari said that he was handed the bottle by Togamera. If that's the case, then that was a serious breach of investigation conduct.
Oh, that's a story I haven't heard. Well, why don't we satisfy everyone's curiosity? Let's call him back.
It's
God damn it, Jimmy.
Bailiff, please contact Detective Togamera. We'll have him discuss this one more time.
Hi, Togi.
I saw it. Detective, I'm sorry for us to bother you again, but I have one quick question.
Yes, make it snappy.
Did you hand one of the 2 bottles of poison to Salim Kushari for him to hold?
No. No, that's it? What do you want me to say? I'm not about to give a lengthy testimony on something that didn't happen.
And there you have it, Your Honor, a liar.
It seems you're right, eh? Well, if you lied about that, and with everything else, I can see no more reason to prolong the trial.
Your Honor, after all this discussion, we cannot end things here. Please, allow me one more chance to prove my case.
I don't know how I feel. You've had this much time to do just that.
Well, I have about 5 pieces of evidence. Oh, why don't we let him try? It would only be fair after how patiently he listened to me. Williamson, do you really think you can beat me even still?
There's a hint of truth hidden in this mess, and it isn't with you. I won't allow an innocent man to be convicted in the place of a murderer.
How amusing. Well, it'll be fun watching you flounder some more. Tell you what, I'm going to give my closing statement. Let's see if you can find any fault in it. Not guilty! It has become increasingly clear that Francisco Mendez is being framed. I have exposed Kushari's lies, while also disproving your original points against my client. The witness's attitude proves he is an irritable man, prone to anger. He and the young girl cooperated to assassinate Luciano, and the fingerprints on the bottle prove that he spoke to her. It's clear who the true killer is, Salim Kushari.
Thank you again, Mr. Gavin. The defense has given their closing argument. I am prepared to side with them. If the prosecution has anything to change my mind, please say it now.
Now? That's too soon. We can't get another day.
Can't we get another day?
It's the same thing.
The evidence has been overwhelming. I see no reason to further prolong this trial. Mr. Williamson, do you have anything further to say?
Give me a moment to review his final comments. I will come up with something.
Well, please make it quick.
Can't wait around all day for you, I'm afraid. Not all of us are in denial.
You haven't fooled everyone in this courtroom. This might be it. The trial slipped too far off for me to ask for more time. And I'm not even sure if I have the proof to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. Framed? You just love irony, don't you?
Why, Williamson, I haven't the faintest what you could mean. What I've told you is beyond a doubt the truth. My client is innocent and somebody out there has it in for him.
Innocent? He's a mobster.
Perhaps a poor choice of words. For this specific crime, however, he is not responsible. Somebody has killed Luciano and meant to place the blame on the defendant.
And you believe that somebody is the witness?
I know it. Now how shall I explain?
We only have your client and my witness's word to go on. Who has more reason to lie at the moment? It is clearly the suspect.
Who would lie? Who would lie? Well, I would say whoever was guilty. Kushari has already been outed as a perjurer. Doesn't that set off any buttons for you? You heard Togamera, there's only one conclusion for us to reach. Salim Kushari is a liar, plain and simple.
He isn't. That is not something I will accept. I must tread lightly. The judge is siding with Gavin and Mendez. If I present the wrong evidence, that crook will walk free. You have done no such thing.
Haven't I? We spent a great deal discussing why his motive is tenuous at best. And with Kushari's character called into question, the witness testimony is also suspect. Face it, your case is not nearly as strong as you figured it was.
I have his fingerprints on a bottle of poison, the same kind which killed Luciano.
And I have one held by your witness. Nobody bothered hiding Mendez's bottle while we had to search for Kushari's. If Mendez is the killer, wouldn't he have put more effort into it? Every single thing you've brought against him can be turned around in his defense.
All because of that blasted bottle. If only I could prove it was fake. Mr. Kushari is very passionate about injustice. But that does not
I think it was a shit game.
It was not that good. The sequel was even worse. But that does not make him a killer.
You've heard his own words, as has everybody in the courtroom. He simply cannot control himself. The judge had to warn him twice. I'm sorry, Williamson. The man seems to have some sort of violent streak. He even directly threatened me.
They were words. Just words.
If this is how he behaves in a courtroom, how would he act in private? You have to be careful around that man. We all do. Again, if you're bringing up his violence, poison is a non-violent murder method.
Shh. This argument rests on the crime having been premeditated.
And why not? Luciano had an entire group of rich gangsters furious at him. Kushari would have been made for life if he had got away with the murder. And when she handed him the poison vial, it became clear what he had to do. We are talking about $1 million. Let's be $1 million.
$1 billion.
Let's be honest here. Weren't you the one who said it was a motive for anybody?
Yes, and Menderes too.
You disappoint me. After all we've seen, you still think he did it? Kushari is much more suspicious. Enraged over the ordeal, he poisoned Luciano and tried to throw the blame on Menderes. He couldn't even own up to his own actions. Now, shall I reveal just how I know he is responsible?
You have both of their prints, but that does not prove she handed it to him.
Maybe not, but with my client's testimony, the conclusion is obvious. Even then, this young girl disappeared afterwards. The only other chance for her prints to be there would be if they planned it beforehand. Either way, it doesn't look good for your witness.
That bottle was forged. Don't we know that? Yes, but there isn't currently any way to prove it. Unless you can see one that I don't. No, me neither. I'm sure we can find it if we just look hard enough. Keep at it, buddy. If only I was as optimistic as you.
Okay. Oh, that's not it!
Still going? Oh my god.
That sounded like an end!
And what it is for Kushari, as you say it is for Menderes. A setup?
Ha! That's a good one. Of course, that would mean at the very least I have committed perjury today.
I have permitted it for myself.
I mean, he kinda did. If Menderes and I are lying, I welcome you to challenge it. But of course, if you could, you'd have done that a long time ago. You have nothing, prosecutor. Nothing. My case is the truth of what happened. Menderes is innocent. Kushari is guilty. You will have to live with that fact. You will have to live with the fact that you are supporting an evil man.
The audacity of it all. Is there no way to prove he forged that second vial? I can't let Mr. Kushari go to prison in the place of that demon. But I've used everything. What more do I have to say? Whatever you do, don't give up. Mr. Kushari's life is over if it ends this way. I wouldn't dream of giving up. I mean it, buddy. You've got to see through this through all the way. There's no redos here, yeah? We can't just start over if we screw up now. I know we're in trouble when Mr. Jameson gets this serious. I'll have to keep it at this until the very end. We need to corner Menderes.
Okay, so I'm assuming we don't get another do-over. It's become increasingly clear that Francisco Menderes is being framed. I have exposed Kushari's lies while also disproving your original points against my client. The witness's attitude proves he is an irritable man prone to anger, and the young girl cooperated to assassinate Luciano. And the fingerprints on the bottle prove he spoke to her. It's clear who the true killer is, Salim Kushari.
We have nothing.
Yeah, I know. Let's just see what happens if I continue. Okay. Oh, God! This music's sweet, though.
Yeah. At the very least.
Okay. Let's go over everything again.